Okay, thank you. Next is the approval of an individual contract. This is for Mary Kennedy. For a 4-month term. March 1st, 2021, ending June 30th, 2021. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the attached in contract. Do we have a maker and support?
I'll make
Madam
that.
President,
Ms. Thompson, go ahead.
I said I'll make that motion.
Thank you. And Ms. Ott, would you do support?
I will support.
Okay, thank you. And do we have any discussion?
I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Chambliss.
So when it talks about like compensation, it says that is prorated based on the 4-month period of the contract. But when you go to the next page on vacation, it says that she gets 20 vacation days annually. It doesn't say that's prorated, but would that still be prorated so she doesn't walk into a 15-week contract with 4 weeks of vacation?
Mr. Abdullah, would you like to?
I believe
to
it's
address that?
I believe it's prorated. But you know,
This contract's for 4 months.
that's 4 months. Yeah, it's prorated.
Just because like her compensation specifically said it would be prorated,
Mhm.
but the vacation doesn't in the contract. So
Okay.
is she gonna work 15 weeks but earn 4 weeks of vacation?
I didn't try to interpret it the way you're interpreting it. I interpreted it as a proration.
But it doesn't
So
say that, and in
proration-
compensation it does.
Okay.
So if we take this in legally, wouldn't she be given 4 weeks since it doesn't say proration? I'm not trying to
Do
be
we still
difficult.
have an
I'm sorry.
attorney
I just
here? Yeah,
I'm
no.
not trying to be difficult.
And that's why we're here, and do we have an attorney here still, Mr. Abdullah?
I don't think we have. No.
That's one of the reasons why we're trying to make sure that we do this right.
Yeah. So
I know she's been on the job.
today.
I know,
Madam President?
yes, Ms. Scott.
Okay, so she's on the job, but if I recall correctly from previous, she's paid per diem. Is that correct, Mr. Abdullah?
well,
She's not on contract. She's on a daily rate.
right,
or-
like she started today. We're presenting the contract today. So I mean, we're hopeful and optimistic. The reason we asked her to start today is because we were hopeful that the board would ratify the contract, you know. And again, it's a savings in relation to the person that left us. So just want to,
Right, I guess this kind of gets back to.
my understanding is a proration. If you look back at my contract, when I first started in April, I also got proration, even though my contract did not state that I got proration. My contract says, 5 weeks or 25 days, but I didn't get that when I started from April to June. I only got a proration. I believe I got like 9 days or something like that. The system manages that, just like the sick days. It is managed when you put it in the system, it prorates it. So that's the way we interpret it.
Mr. Abdullah,
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just, one thing specifically says prorated, one thing doesn't. So
Salary has to be saved because otherwise it would be a huge amount. I mean,
Madam
Ms.
President,
Scott wanted the floor. Go
I
ahead.
got a question for Mr. Abdullah. Can we approve her contract with the intent to change section 6
you cannot
to
change.
say prorated?
You would have to vote it down, and I would have to go back and present it to Miss Kennedy again, and then bring it back to you.
I see she's in the audience. Can we talk to her?
No,
No?
I don't recommend that, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I don't know. I appreciate the trying to solve the problem, but, because obviously, we want her here. But, at the same time, we need to be clear. Everybody needs to be clear about what we're voting on.
We are, in our mind, we are clear with that interpretation. So the way you're interpreting it wasn't the way I'm interpreting it. So I don't know if that sheds any light on.
So be absolutely clear. Your understanding is she's getting how many vacation days?
I don't have
Or-
the exact dates. When I look at a contract, I look at a full year, and this is what we do. And so when you start mid-year, you get a proration. They input that information into the system,
Correct.
and then the system generates. I don't have the exact information of what numbers, would get right off the bat.
Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Ms.
I just want to be clear. I want Miss Kennedy here. This is nothing against Miss Kennedy. We need her, and I look forward to like meeting her and getting to work with her. I'm asking simply because once we, adopt this in, words are legally binding, and the way you interpret something is not. So in a court of law, if her compensation says proration and her vacation does not, that is something that could be argued, and depending on what the judge would interpret, it's not in writing. And that's my issue with it. But if everybody else feels comfortable with it and I'm just interpreting it wrong and that the wording being not in that part doesn't matter, then it's just me.
Yeah, because all the rest of the contract is written as annual.
I got frozen. I don't know if if it was only me that got frozen. Did you guys get frozen?
No,
Oh, I didn't hear anything. Everything just froze.
Rebecca, I
Is-
think you
is-
need to repeat that last part that you said.
He's just saying that it's nothing against Miss Kennedy. I was just, interpretation is not, it's what's in writing in black and white. And in a court of law,
right.
her salary says proration, her vacation does not. And I believe it could and would be argued. And
Right, and obviously.
Maybe it's
we're
just
gonna
me.
Hope that she's here a long, long time, and that, yeah.
Oh, for
this
sure.
3 months, this short contract is just the beginning of it. I was trying to see if Mr. Thiel is here, but I couldn't really tell. I know her contract's gonna be renegotiated.
Jamie's here.
Jamie?
Hang on 1 second. I could ask him to unmute.
Could, please?
Yeah.
Because this seems to be a fairly standard contract, but again, when we're looking at parameters and stuff for contracts, we need to understand, that was part of the discussion, obviously, that we've had in the recent past.
Jamie, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, you wanna,
Yeah, I mean, typically it'd be prorated, so it'd be roughly about 6.6 days of vacation prorated.
So she would get 6 days with this 4-month contract?
Correct.
Okay, so you're saying generally, but that's worst case scenario?
I don't know the exact number, but it's like 6.6 days if it's prorated. Like Angel said, once we put everything in the system, it calculates it. And the sick days, our system calculates as time as she works in the district. So those aren't all granted up front. Same thing with the personal days.
Okay, so she's earning them as she's working.
Correct.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Got it. Anybody else have any questions? Beth, I can't
No.
see you.
No questions.
Okay. So do we want to call for a roll call?
Is that a
Like-
question?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
seeing anybody raise their hand, so let's do
Okay.
it.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Ott, yes, Ms. Holder,
Yes,
Mr. Holcomb,
Yes.
Ms. Chambliss,
Yes.
Ms. Beaver.
Yes.
okay.
Motion passes 7-0.